Hello, everyone. I'm Wolfman Sam here with my partner Johnny Buff Guns,
Hello, everyone.
and we are Creatures of the Night. Johnny, you want to start us off?
Yes, again, no particular order as we always do. Yes, I did this. I probably had to get out of my system first thought because yesterday I went to go see the new Michael Jackson biofilm, and it was better than I expected. Maybe not perfect or great. It wasn't 100% accurate, but it didn't disappoint me as much as, like, maybe not for some people, but it depends on who watched it. I mean, I get it. If you're a diehard fan.
Right. I heard good things about it. They don't cover the allegations.
Not yet.
I'm glad that they didn't because I'm a Michael Jackson supporter.
Right.
And I, for one, know for a fact that those allegations are false anyway. So,
right. Like any particular artist, it's complicated.
Yeah. But from what I hear, I've not seen it myself. I want to see it.
Right.
From what I hear, it's pretty.
It was.
Story.
Yeah. Like I said, not 100% true or accurate about like from fact and fiction, but it did a fair, okay, justice job, and I thought the actor, his nephew, playing his uncle, was fair, and he really bought the presence of his uncle. Like, you really felt that sense Michael Jackson was back. And especially, like, I was, like, really getting into the mood of, like, when they were, like, playing, like, his famous iconic music of Thriller, Beat It. It's like, I was, like, jazzed up, like, feeling... You were getting like, in the mood, like, yeah, even like I can't dance, but you get the point, though. I was just
it makes you feel good in the moment,
Yeah,
that's what I really think. If you were going to do a Michael Jackson biopic, it really should be.
Yeah,
it should be a celebratory.
Yeah, because the way seeing like how the way he really like touched audiences. He was like so iconic, like. Everybody blushed over Michael, like he was like the Babe Ruth of music to that too. That's how I would describe it.
Well, he really did change music.
That's true.
Like no one was doing what Michael was doing.
Right.
In the 80s, basically a mini motion picture music video. No one was doing that at the time.
Right. Well, especially you learn about where he got the idea of like the music videos for Beat It and Thriller, and for what I've learned, a semi-horror fan, but not really a big die-hard fan of the horror. Except for Vincent Price. He was a big Vincent Price fan. So I guess you can say that was his exception of horror. Vincent Price, and he liked the original 50s House of Wax movie.
Right. Yeah, don't mind me. I was just trying
to... No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We'll fix that in post, I guess. But
it's okay. Don't worry.
Like I said, going back to what I said before, it really, I'm glad that it sounds like it's a celebratory thing about Michael, which
it was. It goes from like his childhood, the Jackson 5, and then when he was trying to go solo by himself. It's not that he didn't appreciate his brothers and the Jackson 5. He wanted to like find his own voice as an artist. That's what he was trying to do.
Mm.
And also what I learned, his father was very abusive and had a hard time accepting that his son wanted to be a solo artist without his brothers.
Yeah, and from what I gather from, what was it, Joe Jackson?
Joe Jackson's father, yeah.
From what I gather, a lot of what they cover was true. Joe Jackson was abusive.
Yes,
was very, very abusive, which it makes more sense of why Michael was the way he was.
To a degree,
that's damage.
Yeah, no, it is.
And did they touch upon the vitiligo thing? His skin disease?
Very little. Not a lot.
I'm curious because like no one ever brings that up. Everyone kind of gets that joke of
they do
the skin.
No, they do show his nose surgery. But the skin disease that was very briefly mentioned. Not really a big whole detail on that part.
Okay. I was just out of curiosity because the ongoing joke with Michael Jackson is like, oh, he didn't. It wasn't a disease. He bleached the skin, which was partly true, but that was at the end where he was already, just covering up what was left.
when he had his plastic surgery on his nose, even the plastic surgeon said, "Why do you want to do this?" He goes, "You're a good-looking kid. You don't need this."
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I don't mean to play armchair psychiatrist. I think it had something to do with maybe he thought he looked like his dad.
I
Maybe.
don't know. That's a tough one.
That's a long shot. I'm sure
Yeah.
better Michael Jackson fans can correct me on that. I don't.
Yeah. The way they also like created like his concert again, you really felt that presence as if you were like it's a close
Right.
up in a field to it, but because I wasn't around when that stuff happened when Michael Jackson was like so like
Yeah.
big and
And the only thing I remember from my childhood, unfortunately, is the allegations.
same.
I
But
never. And it's funny, like going back, like I don't mean to get off on a musical tangent, but going back to the albums that were released during that time, it's interesting listening to them because Michael Jackson accidentally invented dubstep.
yeah,
One of
yeah,
his albums, Unbreakable, and it's funny, like reading the Rolling Stone magazine, he got criticized for it. It
right,
says, "Oh, it's overproduction," and then like 10 years later, they were praising
yeah.
like
Well, I
for
remember. Well, I remember.
inventing dubstep.
Well, my earliest memory of Michael Jackson was Free Willy because that's how the movie did successful because he promoted a
Right,
song
right.
for it
Most
and made
people,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like any parents growing up, like my parents introduced me to this music, playing this music for background or introducing me like what his best songs were, and also my neighbors. Oh my god, they were huge
oh
Michael
yeah,
Jackson
oh
fanatics.
yeah, oh yeah. And like he was an icon. There was
Yes,
no one like him, and they were. I think the only guy that comes maybe close to Michael's, but maybe not in popularity, but like close to Michael's wow factor is Prince.
I guess. Even though I know a lot about Prince
Yeah,
now.
like if there's anybody, I think that would be a fair comparison, even though they're totally
Right.
different.
Well, that is unless you want to say maybe like Elvis to a degree. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, listen, there's a bridge between the two.
Yeah.
Lisa
Right.
Marie Presley.
But I guess what I've learned about every artist in music, movie, they have their own niche and their own popularity and fame of what they like inspired and left a legacy behind.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check out the movie, but not in theater, or at least just check it out when it comes to streaming at some point. It's worth a watch. Is it perfect?
Yeah, I'm
No,
probably
but
gonna check it out when it's
yeah,
coming to streaming.
yeah.
Probably.
And also, I saw Scream 7 about 2 months ago, and that was, for one, as someone who likes the Scream franchise, it was a big, major letdown and disappointment. Scream 7.
I mean, to be honest, the last Scream movie for me, I think I watched was 6,
Right.
and that for me was a letdown for me.
Really?
Personally. Yeah, I mean, because like I felt like there was nowhere for them to really go. I
Right.
mean, I understand where they were wanting to go with like a legacy sequel, and it's like I get it, but it's like how many are you gonna make?
I know, right? Well, that's true.
And that's what I say is like it gets to the point where it almost becomes farcical. It's like the Halloween sequel.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I keep wanting to make a parody of Michael Myers and nursing
oh
home.
no, there's plenty on the internet of Michael Myers parodies. Like, what does Michael Myers do during his off time? He goes to the gym, pump iron, or
He's got it. I mean,
yeah,
like seriously, you know. Even the films kind of poke fun at his age,
to a
and
degree.
and it's like yeah, 70-year-old Michael Myers running around.
Right. Well, the other thing about Scream 7 that didn't work for me is like the kill. I won't really spoil who the killers were, but the reveal was just so weak. It's like we barely had a chance to know these characters before we found out they were the killers the whole time, and
Right.
especially the whole like lead up about that. Oh no, Stu Macher, Matthew Lillard is still alive, but no, it was just AI and deep fakes. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I mean, I get it. It's timely.
Yeah,
Also, you're kind of, and I know Scream is very much in the now, right?
yeah,
It was very much in the now back in the day, kind of poking fun at the
horror genre
of then. I get that, but it's weird to say maybe it's further dating it.
to a degree.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a weird take.
Yeah, and also when I was watching the film, the theater, I'm asking myself, how do you put the Carpenter sisters in this movie, especially after when the movie was boycotted because of Melissa Barrera's firing, and fans really enjoyed her character, how she was the daughter of Billy Loomis, and she was worried, like, what if I'm just like my father? And
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to be a cynic, but I feel like with going back to AI, right? I feel like going back to AI, you're going to run into a slippery slope where maybe you'll have actors sign on to their likeness, much like video games,
right.
and they'll be in it, but it'll be AI.
Well,
Right.
especially how like Val Kilmer's family gave permission to use AI for a movie that's coming out that Val Kilmer, I guess, was working on before he died. But I don't know what his involvement was with that
I
movie.
guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's I just, as much as I respect Val Kilmer, but I just don't know if I'll go see this movie because it's AI, not the real Val Kilmer.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And listen, that's going to be a part of the future of filming. Not the new thing, but it's going to be like CGI to us.
To a degree, yeah.
It's the new CGI. It's.
Yeah. Well,
it'll be cool, but
I remember back when it was one of the Fast and Furious when Paul Walker died. I mean, they didn't use AI wasn't around yet, but they used CGI at the time, like to finish his scenes before around the time he died.
Right.
Yeah, but different times, they say.
Different times or different strokes, as they.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago when he passed away in a car accident. Paul Walker, despite I wasn't really big on the Fast and Furious movies, but obviously I remember that tragedy in life.
Yeah, I remember it too. And again, I'm not the biggest Fast fan.
Me neither.
I'm pretty sure they did one in space by.
I don't know. I have no idea. I've only saw 4 that.
Fast in space.
Yeah, it's like how many more times I want to keep saying the same format. A bunch of big buff dudes on high testosterone with hot chicks on their side doing Hot Wheels all day.
What's the matter, John? You nut about family?
No, I love my family. Just no, I love my family, of course. Just not Fast and Furious movies, I guess.
Yeah, you're too fast for the Furious.
Yeah.
That's a lame pun. I'm very sorry, folks. So lame.
Yeah.
What else were we covering?
Well, let's see. We recently have had, again, more people are dropping like flies. Chuck Norris, Damon Wilson, Rob Reiner, Robert Duvall, Catherine O'Hara, and Jerry Conway, the creator of the Punisher comic books.
Yeah, and I was going to talk very briefly because we had never really got into the '89 Punisher.
Yeah, '89.
As much we did talk about the 2000s Punisher. Oddly enough, we did a whole thing on superhero movies of the 2000s.
Yes.
Pretty recently.
Yes.
But I never got a chance to talk about the '89 Punisher, and it is a good film, and Dolph Lundgren is a good Punisher. The only gripe I have about it is just visual, and that he does not wear the skull.
Right.
But in all honesty, he's a pretty good Punisher. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Punisher from '89.
Right. Well, like I said, I haven't seen it since high school, so I can't really make much of a comment on what I remember about it.
I think currently it's available for free on YouTube.
Right. Sure. I'll have to check it out. Maybe get my own opinion next time on this movie. But you're right, though. He doesn't wear his signature skull logo. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Other than that, it feels like a Punisher movie from the '80s. Right. You don't get Jigsaw. You don't get any particular famous comic book villain.
Right.
It feels more like Death Wish at times. Which isn't a complaint. I love me some Death Wish.
Right. And I guess maybe they couldn't get the rights for the Punisher logo. Who knows?
And it was during a very weird time also, '89. Not quite a not quite a wow for superheroes. The
Right. Well, except for
superhero
Batman
bang
'89.
wasn't really happening, and if it was happening, we were getting things like Steel.
Yeah. Oh God.
You know, we were getting things
Neil.
like Steel or the OG Fantastic Four.
Which I've never seen, but I've
The
heard that.
OG one, not
I know
not
this.
not the 2000s one, not the reboot one, not the current one that's going on.
Right.
The one from the 90s. There was one from the 90s,
Right.
folks, and
That
it was pretty bad.
that Roger Corman worked on, but the film was barely finished at the time when it was
Right,
made.
right.
Yeah.
And I think before that we had Spawn.
That no, Spawn came out in '97. That was a few years
97?
later. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't
The
sure about
only the only way you can find the '90s Fantastic Four is at conventions on bootlegs. That's about it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, but my point stands is at the time, weren't comic book movies weren't really like bankable or so I
Yeah.
could see somebody being like, that's a little cheesy. Why don't we do a
Oh
straight
yeah.
show?
Well, I remember as a kid, I used to like watching the Hulk made for television movies, the one Trial and
Oh yeah,
Returns.
yeah. Well, that's the ironic thing, right? Is one of the most popular shows on TV in the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
was
With
the
the Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Yes, with Lou
I mean,
Ferrigno and Bill Bixby.
God love them. They tried the other Avengers. They had, I think they had Thor at one point,
Yes, and
and
did
Iron Man.
well for what
You
I
could track them down, folks. They're a little rough.
for what I've heard for Death of the Incredible Hulk, the last one they made before Bill Bixby died.
I own
They
that
want
one.
they wanted to. I like that one too. They wanted to use Iron Man, but I don't remember like why they didn't come down to using Iron Man in that movie.
Maybe they couldn't figure out how to make the suit look believable.
Possibly, yeah.
And
Or that.
in trial of the Incredible Hulk, they had poor Daredevil wear the all black suit,
Yeah.
and he did not look
Like-
good. He looked like a
No.
jazzercise dancer.
more like a ninja, like somebody had a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, and I get what they were going for. They were kind of trying to emulate what the Netflix show would later do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't translating.
Right. Well, at least it didn't go like where in the first Daredevil comic book he was in a yellow suit before he just stayed in red.
Yes, that's right. Daredevil yellow. Yeah.
Maybe they were worried like, oh no, audiences will find this too hokey. Wearing a yellow suit.
And I don't think the swashbuckling, like they couldn't necessarily do the Frank Miller Daredevil, which would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think censorship at the time definitely wasn't gonna, you weren't gonna get a grim dark Daredevil.
Well, I once watched a Blockbuster Buster back when he was on Channel Awesome back then, talking about like before what we have now with Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's hard to imagine this is what Marvel movies were like the 80s and 70s of Marvel movies.
Yeah, it was literally just Stan Lee going, let's see if this works.
Right. And believe it or not, there was actually a '70s Doctor Strange film with Jessica Waters at the time.
Yeah, I remember researching that. That was an interesting time for sure. But that was Marvel.
Yeah.
Stan was known for marketing anything with the Marvel license.
Well, before CGI, there was they would use, I forget how they used the camera tricks to make it look like
a lot of blue screen.
Yeah.
A lot of blue, like precursors to blue screen. A lot of slow-mo. Like I'm talking like I'm sure none of our audience will ever get this besides you and me, but a lot of $1 Million Man style slow-mo with the sound effect. That whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Hulk was really the only one that worked, and I think it was down to two things. It was down to the writing. Well, three things really: the writing, Bill Bixby's performance,
Yeah.
and Lou Ferrigno's performance as the Hulk.
Right.
Despite the cheesy wig,
Yeah.
the cheesy Spinal Tap, Ramones style wig, he made it work.
Right.
And I still say that Bill Bixby's Bruce Banner is probably one of the best portrayals of Bruce Banner
Yeah,
because he
totally.
played it straight. He played it
did.
straight.
Well, then he was also charming, charismatic, and kind, gentle.
But
he was
you believed that
right.
he was this hulking monster,
Right. But he was afraid to get close to people, worrying about like how his condition could get worse depending on how close he got to somebody.
The only series I think that got that down, that dynamic of Bruce Banner down, was the '90s animated series.
Yeah. Yes.
That was because I was watching that and I was listening to the dialogue and I'm like, this sounds like Bill Bixby. This sounds like something Bill Bixby would have said, like, oh, you got to stay away from me. I can't transform. If I transform, like it's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what the inspiration for the Hulk came from. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Frankenstein.
I can definitely see it.
It just shows you they were inspired from the classic Universal monster horror movies.
Well, if you do your research, it's a very small bridge between the two. It really is.
Right. Right.
Anyway.
And also I forgot to mention this too. Bo Starr, who played Sheriff Ben Meeker in Halloween 4 and 5, he passed away yesterday.
Oh, man.
Again, they're dropping like flies, and I met his brother Mike Starr, who he's related to, and he told me about his brother being in the Halloween movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's really it's kind of surreal. You think these legends will last forever, and then
sadly, no, it's not the truth. We all go on. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, especially Catherine O'Hara. It's ironic how not that long ago she was in the Beetlejuice sequel. And
Catherine O'Hara, Home Alone, right?
Yes, Beetlejuice, Home Alone, SCTV. She had a great career.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. And Robert Duvall, The Godfather. Oh my God, where do I begin besides that with Robert Duvall?
Yeah. I mean, it still shocks me that we live in a world without David Bowie.
Yeah.
Or Lemmy from Motorhead, and all these rock stars that were just like, yeah, they'll live forever. Gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Christopher Lee, man, talk about a big hit. I mean, listen, the dude died at 80, 90 years old. God bless him.
Yeah. It's ironic to see, reading about Peter Cushing and their friendship, and to think that I was only just a little baby when Peter Cushing died. It's like, damn, so I was kind of alive when Peter Cushing was around, but for a short time.
It's kind of funny, realizing that Dracula and Helsing were the best of friends, and there are hilarious stories of them going to a theater and watching Looney Tunes together. Yes. And I'm picturing these two titans of not only new movies, but theater, just laughing their butt off at Looney Tunes. It's just so humbling, because you think they're larger than life, and then you find out, no, they're just like you and me.
Yeah, and supposedly they got kicked out of that theater because they were considered their laughing was too loud or something like that.
I can believe it.
Well, because apparently Peter Cushing and both Lee, they loved Looney Tune cartoons. Good taste.
Yeah, and I love. There was an interview I watched with Lee, an older interview. I think it was from the 2000s, early 2000s, around the time he did the prequels for Star Wars.
Right.
And I love that he doesn't refer to Peter Cushing as Peter Cushing. He refers to him as my friend Peter.
Right.
And it's so heartwarming that he refers to his.
Well, he said it was really hard for him at the time when he passed away.
I could imagine, if their friendship is led to, if you can buy their friendship, that they had this rock solid friendship, absolutely,
right. Right.
Absolutely.
I may or may have not mentioned this in the past, but it's worth mentioning again how that they were both offered the role of Dr. Loomis in Halloween because Carpenter was a fan of the Hammer films. He said, "I wanted one of these guys for the part."
I couldn't believe that. If it couldn't have been Donald Pleasance, I probably would have casted. I probably would have casted definitely Cushing. Nothing
Right,
against
same.
Lee. Nothing against Lee. Lee would bring almost like a menace to it.
Right, right. Well, whereas Cushing would have been like the way
More
his Van Helsing.
calculated. He would have felt like an actual doctor.
Right, like the Van Helsing type he played in Horror Dracula, where he's more compassionate compared to like where Donald Pleasance, like all the years of trying to help Michael got to him, like mentally, how he just could not fix Michael Myers no matter how hard he tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, like as interesting as that
It's
is,
hard
I
to
still
see anybody deliver that evil speech.
right, right. I mean, as a kid, like watching Halloween, I never would have known about who Lee and Cushing were at the time. It just to me, Donald Pleasance is Dr. Loomis in my head, at least in my. But still, it's
of
interesting.
course.
Yeah.
Same could be said for Robert Englund and Freddy Krueger.
Right, exactly, and especially
Just,
because of Halloween, that's why I love Donald Pleasance a lot.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. If it wasn't for Halloween, that's why I love Donald Pleasance because of that movie. Because I've seen him in a few things other than just he was in one of the James Bond movies. He was
Prince
in
of Darkness.
yes, and he was also in the Fog. No, was he in the Fog? No, he wasn't in the Fog. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, people. For
It's been a while. It's been a while.
you know what it is. He's been in so many things. It's hard to remember everything that Donald Pleasance was in because just like Lee and Cushing, Donald Pleasance also brought his A game to everything.
Right, and that's what IMDb is for.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Good point there, Vince. But it's funny reading about when they both rejected Halloween. It wasn't really Cushing; it was more like his agent that was rejecting Halloween because he kept telling Carpenter "get lost." So it makes you think it really would have been Cushing's decision saying yes.
Somewhere there's an alternate timeline.
Yeah. Whereas Lee turned down because he didn't like the script of Halloween today, it was gonna fail. But until the day he died, he said, "Damn it, I regret turning down Halloween."
I can believe it.
Yeah. Because I don't know who Peter Cushing's agent was, but from stories I heard, his agent was kind of a dick.
That happens. Happens. It's Hollywood.
Because Cushing was really considered one of the nicest people in Hollywood.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yes. For a guy who played such mad, demented men in like Frankenstein or any other like horror movies, but in real life, calm and chill as can be, and such a gentleman off screen.
Like I said, I can definitely believe it for sure.
Yes. Yeah. And also, I went to Italy 2 months ago. Not to get off topic, but
Italia.
Yes. Italy is so beautiful. There's so much like learning.
I've had other friends that have been to Venice.
I've been to Venice too, and that's where they shot the horror movie Don't Look Now. But I don't know which
creepy movie, by the way.
What?
Creepy movie.
It's great. It is creepy. But
I'm not. There are very few movies that make me uncomfortable or freaked out, and I know it's a weird movie to say that movie from the 70s. Don't Look Now. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a creepy movie, and it takes a while to get there, to get to the creepy factor.
Me and a friend discussed on Instagram how we both agree that 70s films still hold up, like Exorcist and Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, anything by David Lynch.
Yeah.
Eraserhead, I mean...
Oh my god. I remember last year when David Lynch passed, I bought Eraserhead and Criterion around like for the half price, and rewatching, I'm like, oh my god, I'm still tortured. I'm like, I need a break.
Have you watched Twin Peaks yet?
I did watch it last year, but what happened was I watched it, but then I got sidetracked with other personal things that got in the way. But I do remember. I remembered. It's funny when I was rewatching it last year. I'm like, I haven't seen this in a decade yet. I'm like, yeah, I remember this, I remember that, but not everything.
Dude, it's very memorable.
Yes, it is.
Like it's probably. I mean, I'm gonna fanboy out here. I'm gonna go get your ponchos handy. The character writing in that I'm talking about the original series, not the return.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
Not the return, not the season 2, but the original series of Twin Peaks. The character writing, everybody's just so memorable.
Yes.
There's not one character that falls to the wayside.
Right. But I did have my moments like, okay, this part I didn't remember that Peggy Lipton's character's husband was in jail. Okay, this part I don't remember. I do remember she had a thing for Ed because they were like former like high school sweethearts.
Right, and it was one of the curtains and
yeah. So
the curtains and eye patch and
yeah.
Can I just say? I mean, as a guy, I'm gonna be a guy here. I'm gonna be a guy here, but the women in that show, gorgeous.
Yes, I agree.
Well, maybe not everybody, but like 99% of the cast. The woman that played Annie Blackburn personally is my favorite.
Right. Well, especially the actress Laura Flynn Boyle who played Dawn. It's like, Jesus, what happened? She was such an attractive woman, but then she had all the plastic surgery.
And to the credit, when we get to the return, they aged pretty well.
Right.
They aged pretty well.
Right.
Most of the cast. I mean, but I'm just gorgeous women,
right?
And not just like run of the mill like Sydney Sweeney,
yes.
they all had that like classic like pinup look,
right?
What happened to this caliber of women?
Right? No plastic surgeries, no butt jobs, or no boob jobs.
Well, or at least just good makeup jobs or whatever.
Well, it's ironic you say that. When I was in Italy, the way I would describe the women over there, beautiful. Like there's no plastic surgery.
I'm very biased. I'm very biased for Italian women. I'm just letting you know that.
Well, Monica Bellucci is an example. Man.
Yes, I love me Italian women, whether it's from the motherland or New York Italian women.
Right.
I just love it.
They were just naturally beautiful. No plastic surgeries, no tattoos. I mean, maybe a little bit, nothing too extreme with tattoos. Nothing against tattoos. It's just
definitely not the
They have a
piercing Hellraiser type.
Right, exactly. They have a different mindset over there about body image or just image in general.
I can sense you moving there soon. Something.
Well, it's like anything. You know what I've learned in life? Like, I mean, yes, as great as it sounds, but sometimes not everything is all what it's cracked up to be. Sometimes,
to a degree. They say about the grass being greener.
Yeah, that's true too. There's a truth. There's some truth behind that.
Like I said, I can. There are a lot of what we call passport bros.
Right.
They're just like Western women suck. I'm going to another country.
Yeah. Well, no matter where you go in life,
I don't particularly buy that. I mean, like I said, not to get off on a tangent about women, but I don't particularly buy that. There are good women anywhere.
I agree. I never, as I get older, I never try to think of like stereotypes of like this is better, that's better.
No, there are good women everywhere.
Yeah,
but it's hard to find the woman that suits you.
Right now, that's
just it.
I guess for a small little announcement right here, ladies and gentlemen, I have a girlfriend. I'm taking
her. Mazel tov.
Yes.
Okay.
But she's great. She's been awesome so far. It's going well. We have a lot in common. We connect very well too. That's the important thing.
And like I said, I personally wish the best for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We do a lot of streams together, which is fun. Like we've been doing like tons of like streams on like 80s horror movie. Man, it's fun. But there are so many 80s films. It's like, oh my god,
I know. I am still finding things from the 80s. I was literally just watching, not to get off on a tangent here, but I was literally just watching an anime. Well, it's more of a movie, but an anime series called Angel Cop. And it's basically like if you take Judge Dredd, RoboCop,
Interesting.
and Blade Runner and put it in a blender.
That's
It's more RoboCop than anything. It's
right. Well, it
it's
could have
about
been
a female cop that her job is to take out the communists. And it's
right.
funny, listening to the opening crawl, the opening narration. I'm just like,
Right.
this could have been made yesterday.
Right. Well, in a way, you never know. They could have been inspired from RoboCop because I know that Akira had a lot of inspiration for certain movies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There was always a tennis match between us and Japan. Like,
Right.
like the French gave us all the sci-fi cyberpunk aesthetics,
Right. Oops,
right? They
sorry.
were the thing that inspired Blade Runner. And then
Right.
when Blade Runner came out, Japan just exploded. Their entire industry changed.
Right.
And and with heavy metal and everything, and then all of a sudden you have things like Ghost in the Shell and Akira.
Right.
So
Well, the 2 tricky years I find a little bit challenging for doing like in the '80s horror films, '83 and '89, because by '89 the hype has died down. In '83, it's like there's still good ones, but I just don't know '83 that well.
yeah, and that was a weird mid period too. Like
Yeah.
like '83, I sensed they were kind of trying to get out of the slasher
Yeah, I guess
genre,
so.
and then by like 85, 86, it took on
84.
that rock star appeal.
Right.
It was peak. That
Right.
slasher genre was peak. You
Right.
had that rock and roll, heavy metal influence,
Yeah.
and then by like 89, 90, things started to die
True.
down with that.
True.
And by like 90, like late 90s, everything became industrial.
Right.
And
For me, from '84 to '88, that was like the height of like with horror. But then by '89, the hype is dying down when they're coming out with Jason Takes Manhattan or Halloween 5.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny, like Jason Takes Manhattan, it's bad. It's bad, but when he gets off that boat, man, it becomes enjoyable.
Yeah.
It becomes a so bad it's good movie. I mean,
Right.
where else are you going to see Jason kicking a boombox
Well,
while swearing all white gangsters, white thugs?
well, thank
You
God
know?
for these things now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, or him just going into a bar and just throwing a guy against the wall, boxing a guy's head off. Like,
Right.
he goes full Mortal Kombat mode.
Right.
Full Mortal Kombat mode in that movie, and
Well, speaking of
it's
Mortal
one of the
Kombat,
reasons why I like it.
did you see the sequel that came out recently to Mortal Kombat?
No, it's that's on my list. I got to see it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, the part when he hits that, like, the boxer's head, it's like, damn.
Yeah, like I said, Mortal Kombat. Like
Right.
all it's missing is a fatality.
Right. Well, like we
That's
said
all
once
it's missing.
in a previous podcast before, like they had the budget for Jason Takes Manhattan to shoot a lot of it in New York. It would have been cool to see Jason at Yankee Stadium, like kill a baseball player with a bat, and the head drops into the stands for a home run.
That would have made it so much more enjoyable.
Yes.
Him just go like full baseball, and at that point, you would have to go full video game. You would have to make some
Right.
video game making.
Right. But being a Yankee fan I am, I don't think George Steinbrenner, the former owner of the Yankees, would not have allowed that. I don't think.
Maybe. I mean, listen. If Freddie can have a music video with Dawkins,
That's true.
or he had, didn't he have like a pizza commercial?
I think he did, but I don't know much about it. I don't know how.
Something.
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, it would have been right around the time that would have probably been acceptable.
Right.
Because horror films were mainstream. You had
Right.
Pinhead on talk shows, and
Yeah, that's true too.
Doug Bradley in full Pinhead makeup. There was a thing I actually found out through YouTube, an old talk show called Up All Night, and
No idea what it
it
is.
was a talk show. It was kind of like an Elvira kind of deal.
Okay.
For movies. It was like this Valley girl. I forget her name,
Right.
but she had Pinhead on one night.
Oh,
She was
really?
doing the Hellraiser thing. And
Oh,
she's like,
nice.
how do you know, in her very Valley Girl way, you're like, how do you work this box? She had the box. And, Pinhead would go, you've opened the box, you summoned me. He's like, oh, you looking for a date? Like, that kind of thing. But that was the culture.
Right.
It was everywhere,
Right.
Like a modern day equivalent would be like, if like Snoop Dogg did a ad with the Terrifier clown.
Art the Clown.
Yeah, Art the Clown, right? Or like if Megan did a AI commercial. I mean, maybe that's a little on the nose.
That's a little bit, especially how I'm not really too crazy about the Megan movies that much.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I'm grasping.
I get it though. Right. Well, it's funny with this talk on Elvira. Me and my girlfriend watched the Elvira film through a stream. It's a fun movie, the Elvira movie.
Yeah, it is. It is a fun, goofy movie. The Elvira Mistress of the Dark. Yeah,
a good movie to shut your brain off and relax and have fun. And
yeah, it is. It is a fun movie.
It is. I liked it, and especially it's funny when she talks to that guy about. Oh, I show movies at my theater. She goes, "Oh, do you show I Married Satan? I Married Satan too." I looked those up. They're not real movies. I wouldn't be surprised if she improvised that. Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible that Cassandra Peterson improvised that.
The way I describe the movie, it's like if maybe the Munsters and the Batman '60s TV show like had a daughter. This is what you.
Yeah, it's up there with like the Addams Family.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
That kind of like it's up there with it. But it's very goofy. I love it.
Well, I guess the Munsters had the better version of Marilyn. That's not the regular kind. Like because in the show of the Munsters, Marilyn's all regular and she's not like the Munsters.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. There's. Don't get me wrong. I do love my Marilyn, of course. Marilyn's great.
Which one?
I like who was the first one? Pat Bruce is the second. Beverly Owen. I like Beverly Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing against Pat Priest, but I just like Beverly Owen. That's just me.
Different strokes, I guess.
Yeah, and I am proud I met Pat Priest a couple of years ago. That was a fun time to meet her.
Yeah, I could imagine. You basically meet everybody, basically.
Not everybody.
Just about.
I wouldn't go that far because I did a YouTube video with my buddy recently that's going to be posted after I do my screen videos about horror convention or just Comic-Con convention prices getting ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I haven't been to one in forever.
Right.
It's like going to a concert. It's
pretty much. Well, even if I went, if I don't meet everybody, at least I wouldn't mind just being there for the atmosphere, get my head off of things. Yeah,
exactly.
I think I'm more excited to get more Blu-rays there than meet the famous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, right.
Is there anything else you want to cover?
Just for a brief second, they're coming out with a fourth Meet the Parents movie.
A fourth Meet the Parents movie?
I'm not joking. I saw the trailer, and it's like, as much as I love Ben Stiller, I love this series, but they're pushing it.
Yeah, I'm
watching you, fuckers.
I like the first Meet the Parents, and I like Meet the Fockers, too. So.
I like Meet the Fockers. That's fun. It's not great, but I always like Meet the Fockers because of Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand as the Focker family. It's like, it's perfect.
Right, perfect. Yeah.
And Little Fockers, I don't hate it, but it's like, okay, they're probably stretching.
Yeah, that one's pretty forgettable, I gotta say.
The only thing I found funny is the ending when he watches the YouTube remix of Greg Focker doing some lecture about a new drug that's on the market. Especially how this brings me back to the time with YouTube remixes at the time. Yeah, that's the only funny part. Yeah, Burns, Jack, Burns. I know it's corny, but it's kind of funny to a degree. Yeah. But it's like basically the whole point of this, like now Ben Stiller, Greg Focker is a little bit of Jack Burns. Now he's the one that's worried and concerned, like, is my son marrying the right girl? It's like, brother.
Right.
Yeah, it's like with Star Wars or any other franchise. Now it's the reverse.
Yeah, and that doesn't always work, you know.
Yeah. The only exception is Rocky. Okay, Rocky makes sense. Like, okay, this makes sense. He's passing the torch to the new champion.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But even that ran its course, you know.
That's true. Yeah, like I did like all 3 Creed movies they made of the spin-offs. Not perfect, but they were good. I enjoyed them. Love me some Rocky and Creed.
Well, that's your bread and butter, buddy.
Yes.
Yep.
Despite not being a boxing fan, that's as close to boxing with me. Rocky and Raging Bull.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Tokyo Fist, by the way?
You know, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've never seen it. It sounds
familiar. Track it down. I've been wanting to track it down myself. It's much more intense, and unfortunately, it's in Japanese.
Right.
So.
Right. And also, and again, Damon Wilson from Sanford and Son passed away. Oh, I almost came close to meeting him, but he backed out of the convention I went to. But I guess he was really not in good health at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the same
forever.
No. That was the same convention where I met Reginald Val Johnson, aka Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Couldn't say no to that offer. I'm like, yes, Reginald Val Johnson, Die Hard, and Carl Winslow. Can I do that?
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. I didn't say that to him, but when he entered, when I was waiting for my photo op picture with him, I just had to say it. Hi, Mr. Winslow. He probably didn't
hear me like, oh God, you're like the 13th fan that did that to me.
Right. Right. But it was a nice honor to shake his hand and tell him how much I enjoy him as an actor. That's good enough. I didn't have to do my Urkel voice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and also Rob Reiner passed away. Well, this is late, but he passed away, and it's ironic. Before his passing, a month before, me and my dad rewatched The Princess Bride, and it's like, oh my God, go figure. It's like, you know, the whatchamacallit, the connections. I'm like, oh my God, I recently watched this, and he's gone now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of ironic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, he also directed Misery. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, unfortunately prophetic a little bit, given the internet.
Right, well, that's true, right.
Given the internet.
Times have changed. But from what I've heard, the story that, like, behind Stephen King was during his drug addiction, and also how the kind of pressure he goes through as a writer, like, through fan letters.
He had a drug addiction, I think.
He did. He because apparently, when he wrote Cujo, he said he had no memory of writing Cujo because he was so deep in his drug and addiction phase.
That makes sense.
Oh, it does. People ask him, what were you thinking when you wrote Cujo? He said, I don't remember writing Cujo. That's his answer.
Don't remember. It's a bit like Alice Cooper during the 80s. He says literally, I don't remember that decade.
Right.
I don't remember the early 80s.
Right. And then we always talk about we missed the 80s by literally a decade.
Right.
Yeah.
Go figure. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover?
I guess, okay, Eric Dane, the actor from ER Grey's Anatomy, I'm not sure, but I didn't watch the show, but the reason why this kind of struck me is because he died from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and I lost a grandfather to Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, man.
It is a rough one.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of death, you know, we've been having, you know. I don't really mean to make this like a downward, you know, downing kind of podcast, but yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like I said, reading about that made me a semi connection to that because, like I said, losing a grandfather ALS was a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that really sucks.
Yeah. You don't have to be a baseball fan to know about Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah. It's one heck of a way to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
But I guess for a small announcement, I hope in the future we do a feature about talking about forgotten 90s comic book movies.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, that would be interesting to cover. There are a couple that I haven't gotten a chance to see.
Right.
Like,
We've already covered The Crow many times. As much as I love
yeah,
The Crow,
yeah,
it's like, okay, we'll have
we've covered
to.
the Crow forward and backwards. I think we can give old Brandon Lee
Yeah,
a rest.
yeah. Because I never realized how there were so many like '90s comic book films that I never realized, like Rocketeer, Dick Tracy, and
Yeah,
yeah, The Phantom, The Shadow. It's like, wow, these films don't get talked about that much.
yeah, and I wish they did because they were kind of like I consider them part of like a noir kind of cinematic universe in my head.
Right.
Basically.
But unfortunately, there's explanations on why some of these films did not perform as well because of poor marketing or because there was a lot of student
Yeah,
interference.
yeah,
Like I read with Dick Tracy, they wanted to make that into a franchise like Indiana Jones, but again, student interference, poor marketing, and also there was just a lot of like production problems with that movie.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. That's Hollywood for you in showbiz. Not every movie goes to plan.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, because in my Scream 3 video that I did recently, I mentioned how in a way you could look at that film as like a parody of like what goes on with student interference and like why, like who's to blame on like why this film bombed.
Everybody,
Right, yeah, exactly. And I also
everybody.
briefly mentioned how Scream 3 pokes fun of a little bit about Wes Craven, how despite because the character Roman, who was the director of Stab 3, says that I hate horror movies, but I only did this movie because the studio said if you did this movie, we'll give you the chance and opportunity for you to direct the movie you really wanted to direct because
Right.
Wes Craven, despite he was known as a horror director, he really wanted to make love stories, but again, studios typecast him. He never had that opportunity.
It's interesting. I would have.
Oh, it is.
I would have actually loved because like that's always an interesting dynamic, especially there's certain Japanese writers too that
Yeah.
have two sides to them. I forget his name, but some of the things he worked on were there's a really edgy anime series he worked on called Devilman. But at the same time, he'll work on something lighthearted,
Right.
something completely different from the genre. So
Right.
that's an often like a lot of things that'll happen.
Right.
Some director, some writer will go to something
Right.
more darker or more lighthearted.
Well, John Carpenter said he really wanted to make Western because Westerns is his favorite genre.
I can see that, yeah.
But again, he was, I mean, he does like horror movies, but again, he has other interests outside of the horror genre.
Right. And I can sort of see his Western influences in his horror movies, too.
Yeah.
And
also, here's another, Ashiro Honda, the guy who did Godzilla movies, but he said he also wanted to write love stories, but again, didn't have much of a choice when studios told him, no, make more monster movies.
Make more monster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when you read about directors like, oh wow, like despite they were typecast in this genre, but that said that was not their intention. They wanted to make so and so.
Well, it's like certain artists too, like heavy metal artists.
Right, that's true.
Guys, you'll think, oh, they gotta be the embodiment of their character.
They got to make the money.
Yeah, when it turns out that they're just normal stuff. Like the most hilarious thing I remember finding out about good old Glenn Danzig of the Misfits. Huge comic book nerd,
Right.
anime nerd. Makes me love him even more. But it's funny because he has this tough guy image.
Right. Right.
Tough guy. I'm
Well,
Glenn
like
Danzig from Jersey. And meanwhile, he's hanging out with the Sailor Scouts.
Right.
From Sailor Moon.
Well, sure they say don't judge a book by its cover, and also that's
no. I love him. You know, I love him more for it. You know, I say be a nerd. You know,
that's like similar like Kurt Hammett from Metallica is a huge diehard obsessive horror fan.
Right. Same idea. Right. Same idea. There is a very short.
For what I've heard, he has like
the nerd.
For what I've heard, that he has like a Gilman statue or so. I don't know if that's him or somebody else. Yeah. The closest thing for me is I have the mini NECA figure of the Gilman. That's as close as I get because I can't afford 1,000-foot whatever statue of how much it costs to make a statue.
Well, he's got the money.
Yeah, that's true. Or you ever seen Guillermo del Toro's home? Oh my god, it's like a museum of like horrors. He has a statue of Linda Blair, and he has from The Exorcist, Edgar Allan Poe, Lovecraft, as if they were in the same room together discussing literature.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got the Boris Karloff Frankenstein monster, and Jack Pierce. When Jack Pierce would apply the makeup to Boris Karloff.
That's awesome.
Oh, it is. I think he should open up his own museum for a second career.
I'm surprised he hasn't.
Well, like anything, it's again, it's probably not as easy it looks to open up a museum as it looks.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about everything we summed up today that I got out of my system.
Okay. Well, with that said, I've been Wolfman Sam here with my partner Johnny Buff Guns, and this has been Creatures of the Night.
Yes. See y'all next time.